Hello and welcome back. Here we are going to see how to use the kit on Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. So, first of all we will see what is Kirchhoff's current law. So, Kirchhoff's current law is written as KCL. So, if we have any junction point, for example, I have this point here and there is some incoming current over there, say I will call it as I1, and there are some outgoing currents, say I will call it as I2, then I3 and say I4, So, there can be n number of incoming currents and n number of say any number of incoming currents and any number of outgoing currents. So, here I will consider an example in which we have only one incoming current and we have three outgoing currents. So, as in this kit, here we have, this is the only one incoming current here and there are three outgoing currents. This is 1, 2 and 3. Say as per our this diagram, I will call this current as I1, this current I will call it as I2, this current I will call it as I3 and this current I will call it as I4. So, according to Kirchhoff's current law, we have this incoming current, say I1 will be equal to sum of all the outgoing currents here in this case, that is I2 plus I3 plus I4. So, we have to verify this Kirchhoff's current law here. So, for that purpose I will just connect this circuit. So, I am connecting here power supply first and then I will connect this positive to positive and negative to negative. Now, after doing this, we have to fill all these gaps. So, remember, whenever we want to measure current, we have to measure it in series. So, therefore, these gaps we have to fill first and then we will measure all these individual currents here. So, in this way I had connected this circuit completely. Now, to measure the individual currents, what I will do is I will use the milliammeter which is over here and I will just use this milliammeter. So, I will fill this gap here and we will measure this current. Now, you can see this is our current I1 which is 12.7 approximately. Yeah, it is nearly equal to 12.7, you can see here in this meter. So, I will note down it here, I1 is equal to 12.7, it is milliammeter. So, we have it as a in milliampere. Now, I will measure the next current, say I will call this as I2. So, I will measure that current. For measuring this current, I have to remove this circuit from here and this gap I have to fill first and then I will reconnect it over here and now we can measure I2. Now, you can see that I2 is equal to 5. It is approximately, yeah, it is approximately 6, I think, 1 minute. This is 5, this is 7.5. Yeah, it is approximately 6 milliampere. You can see that current I2 is equal to, they are approximately we are measuring here, it is a 6 milliampere. Now, we will measure I3. So, for measuring I3, I will just remove this from here and this one I will remove here and I will connect it over here back again. Now, you can see that I3 is equal to nearly it is 4 milliampere. is equal to 4 milliampere. And now we have to measure I4. So for measuring I4, I will just remove this part from here and I will fill this gap again now and I will reconnect it over here. Now you can see that I4 is 2.5 approximately. I4 is 2.5 milliampere. Now here if we add all these three currents, so see here, that is I2 plus I3 plus I4, so 6 and 4 is 10 and plus this is 2.5. So by adding all these three currents, that is I2, I3 and I4, we will get the total as 12.5 milliampere. Now this 12.5 milliampere, and we can see here that I1 we have measured is 12.7 milliampere. So they are approximately same. That means what we got here, I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 plus I4. That means for this particular node, we have verified the Kirchhoff's current law. So this is all about Kirchhoff's current law. Now we shall see the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So for doing Kirchhoff's voltage law, I will just disconnect it from here. I will just disconnect all these things and then I will explain you. Yeah. So you can see the circuit for KVL is here. This is the Kirchhoff's voltage law circuit. So I will draw this same circuit over here. So you can see that we have the voltage here, that is DC voltage. Here we call it as VDC. And then we have connected a resistance which we will call it as R1. And then here we have connected another resistance which we call it as R2. And the third resistance is there which we call it as R3 and it is connected back here. Now here what we have to do is, first of all we have to measure the voltage across this battery, that is this voltage. So first of all we have to measure this voltage. So that means whatever this voltage is there, we have to measure this VDC voltage. Then we have to measure voltage across R1. Say I will call it as V1. Then we have to measure voltage across R2, I will call it as V2, and then we have to measure voltage across R3, I will call it as V3. So according to Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is KVL, we have here this VDC, that is voltage across battery, must be equal to voltage across resistance R1, that is V1, plus voltage across resistance R2, that is V2, plus voltage across resistance R3, that is V3. So we will verify this law here by just measuring all these voltages. So first of all I will measure VDC here, then we will measure V1, then we will measure V2, then we will measure V3. So first of all I will connect this here, this battery supply over here. I will use this another wire, this one. So this supply is connected. Now we will measure these different voltages here. So to measure this voltage across VDC, I will connect this voltmeter in parallel to this. So we have this voltmeter. You can see that the voltmeter is showing 12.5 volt. I had adjusted it to 12.5 volt. So you can see that voltmeter VDC is nothing but 12.5 volt. Now we will measure Phi1. So to measure Phi1, we have to connect this voltmeter in parallel to R1. So here we have R1. I will connect this voltmeter in parallel to R1 to measure our Phi1. Now you can see it is it's 2.5, just near to that. I think it is 2.4, I think. So you can see that V1 value is 2.4 volt. Then we will measure Phi2. For that I have to connect this parallel to this R2 here, that is this one R2. I will connect this parallel to that. So this I will connect it, yeah. Yes. So it is connected now. Now you can see that the value of V2 is approximately, I think it is 2.6. Yeah. So it is 2.6 volt. Now we will measure the voltage across this third resistor, that is R3. Now you can see that this value of this resistance is approximately 6 volt is there. Yeah, it is just above 6 volt, I think, say 6.2 volt. 6.2 volt. Now here, according to Kirchhoff's voltage law, VDC should be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So to verify that, we have to add all these three voltages. So you can see that this is 2.4 plus 2.6 will be 5, and 5 plus 6.2, 5 plus 6.2 will be how much? It will be 11.2. So it is 11.2 volt. So you can see. So this 11.2 volt, which is approximately equal to this 12.5 volt, which is the VDC voltage applied here. Okay, now remember there is some minute errors here, so we are not getting exactly 12.5 and 11.2, but actually they are nearly they are same. So in this way we have got here VDC is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So in this way we have verified Kirchhoff's voltage law. Say first we have verified Kirchhoff's current law as well as Kirchhoff's voltage law. I hope that you understand all these things, and I am thankful to Sandeep sir for helping in recording this. Thank you very much.